Hello YouTube! So I hope you like my new hairstyle. I really like my new hair color. I think it makes me look like Bloom. And in honor of that, we are doing a Wingsclub related video. And I actually got the idea for this video from someone who commented on another one of my videos a while ago and said that they wanted to see a particular Wingsclub coloring book that I have. But I thought about it and I realized I can't really do an interesting video on just one coloring book. So instead, in this video, we are looking at Wingsclub books in general. I have collected Wingsclub memorabilia for years and years, and therefore I have loads of different kinds of Wingsclub books. So in this video, we're looking at like classical storybooks, but we're also looking at coloring books, and we're also looking at sticker albums and anything that isn't a magazine. If you want to see videos about Wingsclub magazines, I have various videos on Wingsclub magazines as well. I'm gonna put them in the little info dot in the corner there. I have videos comparing Wingsclub magazines in different languages, as well as videos talking about ads in Wingsclub magazines, which I just did recently. So if you wanna know more about Wingsclub magazines, please go and check out this video. But in this video, we're just looking at various Wingsclub books. I mostly have books in either Finnish or Russian, but I also have some in Italian, in original Italian, and and in English as well. I have one book in English and in Lithuanian. So yeah, I have several languages. I do have one sticker album which I love in Norwegian as well, but I couldn't find it, which is a shame because it's actually one of my favorite sticker albums and it's one of the few ones that I have like completed, but I couldn't find it. If I can find it later, I'll just add it to the video. But I did manage to find almost all of my other Wingsclub books, which I'm happy about because it took me a while to find some of them. But without further ado, let's get started on the video. So here I have laid out for you books of all various kinds. We have storybooks, we have coloring books, we have sticker books over there, we have some like game and test books over there, we have some miscellaneous books which I'm gonna look at separately, and I think we're gonna start with storybooks. So we're gonna go season by season, so this should be last. So I have this book that's literally the Dragon Flame. It's literally the title of the book is Dragon Flame, and this is a book in Finnish, which is one of those languages I can read, so I can tell you a bit more about it. This tells us about the secret of Bloom's powers, and this book is basically, I mean, in the beginning here it has. It tells you a little bit about Bloom, it tells you a little bit about Althea and magics and this sort of stuff. And then it tells you about all the fairies. And then it's literally a sort of comic, which is a different sort of comic than the comics you see in like the Wingsclub magazines. This is a comic that just takes like stills from the season 1 episode where they have their exam, and this book just literally takes those stills and does a book out of it. So that's literally what the story of this one is, and literally the whole book is like that. So that's that. There's the price if you were interested. Wow, that was expensive, especially for that time. I imagine that was really expensive, but I still got it. Then we have Fire and Ice, which honestly is one of my favorite Wingsclub books, which I ordered online. Like most of these I have just spotted on my travels or in the country where I live, which I live in Estonia if you don't know. But this one I ordered specifically online, I think on eBay, because I really wanted this story, because this story tells the ending of season 1 from perspective of Bloom and Icy, and it's because I was a massive, and still am, like a massive Icy fan at the time especially, so I really wanted to read this book, and it's really well written. If you move the pages, then the wings move. I think that's really cool. But yeah, it's a storybook. It's a scholastic book, so it's like for children who want to learn to read. But it's really well written. The font is really nice. It's really nice to read. And yeah, it's super cool. And in the middle here we have some color pages. Although in general it's all like black and white, but in the middle we have some colored pages with the Forget Stop opening theme of Wingsclub, so you can see that. Yep. Then this book is The Secret of the Lost Kingdom movie book. We did have this whole series in stores. This book is in Russian. We did have this whole series in stores. I think I just got the like, because I had to pick one. I couldn't just buy the whole series. I think I was planning to buy the whole series, but never got to it. So I just picked like the part of the movie that I liked the best. So this is just a retelling of the first Wingsclub movie. And it just tells a part of it. As you can see, you could actually, in the end there was a thing where you could make your own comic, and I have actually done something here. If you speak Estonian, then it was like follow your own. I'm not gonna tell you what I wrote, but yeah, it was like write your own story sort of thing. I got this when the movie came out, so roughly like around 2007, I imagine. It has really nice pictures. It has like loads of all over pictures that go all over, which is why I imagine that they have managed to do like, I think there were around 7 or 8 or maybe even 9 volumes of this. This is the 3rd volume, and I mean the movie is quite long, but like I'm impressed that they managed to do like 9 volumes out of this one story. So you can see this is still quite the beginning of the movie. Bloom hasn't left Alfia yet. She's leaving. She's still leaving. She just got home. So yeah, it's taken a while. So yeah, this book is just literally a retelling of the movie. Then I have this book. This is a Winx on Ice book, if you notice. I can't tell you much about this book because I don't speak Russian, and I mean, I speak some Russian, but my Russian is quite limited, and this is a sort of storybook, so I can't actually tell you what's it about. So why did I buy this book? Well, A, it's Wingsclub, and B, I have gotten quite a lot of books in my life, especially in Russian, thinking that I'm gonna learn Russian better. I'm gonna be better at Russian, and I'm gonna be able to read this. I've actually been thinking that I should try because I have gotten better at Russian. But anyways, I have no idea what this story is about, but it has some pictures of Winx ice skating, and from what I can make out, it is actually like ice skating themed story as well. But I really can't tell you more about it. So yeah, that's basically pictures of the Winx girls in their ice skating outfits. Yeah, and it's quite a long book. Like it has over 200 pages. And in the back here, there's a group photo of everyone ice skating. So this is a storybook of the Winx girls, probably doing something ice skating related, but I'm not really sure. Then we have this storybook. Now this I have actually, this is called the big holiday, big school holiday, big school vacation. This book I have actually like I had it read to me years ago. You can see where we were at. I pestered my grandmother who speaks. I pestered my grandmother who speaks Russian to read this to me, and so I like remember something of this storybook. And it has some pictures, but the pictures are black and white. See, there's Bloom and that's the history of love. I think the title. I should try reading this. Yeah. there's some pictures, but they're all black and white. So it's a storybook. It's a storybook, yeah. And I think Bloom went on Earth and met mystical like old lady Earth fairy there, which I think also happens in season 6. I think where Selena is. So yeah. So something like that, but I don't remember exactly. I can't tell you. I haven't read the whole thing. Okay, so that's it with the storybooks. I think next we're gonna do this miscellaneous books. So first we have this, which technically could also go into my Wingsclub magazines video, but this is Wingsclub magazine. This is Wingsclub Comics issues 1 to 3. This was released in Finnish. If you can't tell, then this is Finnish. And yeah, this is like a collected edition of Wingsclub magazines. It just Wingsclub comics. It just has the comics, nothing else. It has the first 3 volumes of the comics, which for me was really convenient because I didn't have the first 3 volumes of the comics. But this is it. They were planning to release this as a whole series up to however far they were in the comics, but to my knowledge they never actually released this. I think they just released the first one. I could be wrong because I don't live in Finland, but I visit Finland quite often and I never saw any other issues of that. So I think they just did parts 1 to 3, at least in Finnish. It is possible they did this in other languages as well, and it did better in other languages, and so they did it more in other languages. So that's that, if you want to see what it's like in the back. It was released around season 3 times, as you can see, but inside it just has the first 3 comics. Then we have this Open Secrets book with Bloom. Open Secrets Book of Magic. This is open the Secrets of Magic, basically, and Bloom. This is how you write Bloom in Russian, by the way. So it has glitter. I think the glitter has sort of suffered in years. It has something weird has happened to it. But basically, this was a whole series. Bloom's was Open the Secrets of Magic. Flora's was Open the Secrets of Nature. Musa's was Open the Secrets of Music, and so on and so forth. I think Stella's might have been fashion, but I'm not sure. And it's literally like a book that tells you about magic. It tells you a bit about Bloom as well. Like in the beginning, I remember there was some stuff about Bloom as well, but mostly it tells you like actually about magical things like astronomy, astrology, the history of magic, what people used to believe in, that sort of stuff, which actually is really interesting, but also was really disappointing for me as a kid because I wanted to read something about Wingsclub. I didn't want to learn stuff, and this is a sort of educational book. And in the back here you have these things you can use for notebooks and stuff. Obviously I never used them because I would have felt bad. I have used some of the stuff in like some of my... Oh, this has Icy as well. I think that's one of the reasons why I got this one. And also magic seems like the most interesting theme. But yeah, this was once again a whole series, and obviously I wanted the whole series, but I never got around to getting a whole series. So yeah, this just like teaches you things. I think this is a really interesting series in retrospect. So yeah, in the back you have the Winx girls. And this was season 1 team, just so it had just had the season 1 girls. I think it didn't have Layla, if I remember correctly. I don't think it had Layla. Now, my pride and joy, and one of the most interesting Wingsclub books I have is this Magic Club. I think this is in Lithuanian, and I don't speak Lithuanian at all. But this is like a sort of Wingsclub encyclopedia. It has a sort of information about all of the magical schools, about how the magic universe was founded. It has everything about the magic universe like this is a season 2 book, so up until season 2 it has Daphne, it has witches. Look at everyone's names in Lithuanian. Stormy's name is Audra in Lithuanian, Ice's name is Lede, Darcy's name is Darce, and they don't just do that with the fairies, they literally translate everyone's names, which, like they don't just do it with witches, they literally do it with everyone. Bloom's name is Zieda, or however you pronounce that. I don't speak Lithuanian at all, so Lithuanians, come at me in the comments if there are any Lithuanian Wingsclub fans. Stella, they have left more or less the same. I think Flora was same as well, because Flora literally means Flora. If you're gonna her name already has a meaning, so I think Bloom, they literally translated it like a blossom or something. So this is one of my favorite books. It has beautiful pictures. I like that it has like childhood pictures of all the Winx girls. I'll show you if I can. Oh yeah, now for instance there is Techno here. Yeah, I think it goes to tell you about everyone's families. It's really, yeah, there's everyone. There's Flora, there's Layla, there's I'm just gonna keep calling her Layla. I know she's Aisha. There's even like, is that Brandon? I think that's Brandon as a kid. There's Stella's parents. So it goes really in depth into the whole world. It talks a lot about pixies, because pixies were the big thing back in season 2. So it tells you a lot about pixies. It has some really unique artwork that I haven't seen much elsewhere, like for instance this image, and as well as some of the childhood images of the Winx fairies. I use this as a drawing reference a lot. It talks about Pixie Village. I think it has really interesting information probably as well. I think it probably has some really interesting information, but I can't access it because I literally don't speak a word of Lithuanian. But I still absolutely love this book. It has like all the char mixes. It's a really cool book. It's my favorite book. I promise I won't talk about all the books so in depth, but yeah, it talks about everyone. It talks about the witches, it talks about the specialists, the pixies, everyone gets a page, everyone gets talked about, and yeah, I still love that Stormy is called Audra. I think that's so cool. Yeah, they talk about the teachers. I don't think they spoil who Avalon really is. So yeah, they talk about everyone's rooms. I just freaking love this book. It's a cool book. Yeah, so that's what that book is like. I promise I won't talk about all of them so long, but I think this is like one of the best books in my collection. Really loved it. I have been to Lithuania once, and this is what I got. This is like the best thing I got from that trip. Just one storybook, so let's do that before we move on to anything else. This is my newest Wingsclub book, which I understand isn't super new because it still has the old artwork, but I haven't seen anything like season 8 here anyway. This is, it has a price, it was really cheap actually. And this is Friendship Before Everything Else. It's really interesting. It has season 4 art, and I think even season 5 at times, but it has Chimera, or how do you want to pronounce her name? It has her, and yeah, and it also has some other fairies as characters. I think that's super cool. I really like the artwork in this book. It's really nice. So yeah, I think the plot here could be quite fascinating. But once again, it's in Russian and I don't really speak it. So yeah, here we can see some of the other fairies from, I think they might be from the school where Chimera goes to, because that just makes sense. So here we have some other fairies. She looks like Aisha, but she is not Aisha, she's someone else. And it's interesting to see that they also have like future transformations. So they aren't like in their casual fairy forms. So yeah, that's an interesting story, I think, for sure. So we have this storybook as well. So next up, I think we should take some test books, and these are the sort of books that have sorts of tests and games in them. And the first two are my only Italian books. Here we have Fate come noi. Well, this has stickers from one of the sticker books that I wanted to show you, but I couldn't find it. Anyway, this is a season 3 book, and it has all sorts of little games. It came with a set of cards, which I showed in one of my earlier videos about Wingsclub card games. But basically, this book is sort of tests and quizzes and talks about fashion. It's a sort of almost like an activity book. It also has recipes. You can see various recipes of cakes. A fairy cake. And then it has like a place for notes. And here we have a second book that's kind of similar. This one I think came with a pin. This is why there's a hole in it. This from the pin. And this is like puzzle games, like this maze, and word games, which I can't do because I don't speak Italian, and quizzes, and other kinds of puzzle games. And again, recipes, which actually I think are usable. You can probably figure these out. So we have recipes and games, like a game about shopping. And we also have a test story, which is like you read a story and then at the end there is a test. There's IC on this page, and I love that Stella's dress as well. You read this and then in the end you get your profile, and these are the answers. Yeah. So it's this kind of a puzzle game book. Then I have these activity books, which I have one in Finnish, which is one of the few ones that I can actually physically do, from 2007. This is like an activity book. It literally says tests and exercises, I guess. So yeah, it has these sorts of activity things. Mostly season 1 art. But I think it was just when season 2 just came out, they have like added Aisha or Layla to this season 1 art. You can tell that the artworks are different. But yeah, anyway, you have these sorts of puzzle games here, and the crossword puzzle, and just various kinds of puzzles and quizzes and things. And then I have 3 more of these books. These are all in Russian. I'm just gonna quickly show them. They're all essentially similar. Here's an ad for the coloring books that we will see later. So yeah, it has like games and tests and all sorts of things. This one, I don't know if the order is necessarily correct. I think I got all 3 of them at once. So yeah, that's one. And here's the 4th one. These don't have dates. Like the Finnish ones, I think, came out after one another and they had like dates. But these ones, I think, were just released. Russian versions were just released all at once because they don't have dates. So yeah, that's the 4th one. And I think that brings us to coloring books. Let's do coloring books. Let's start with these coloring books that you saw an ad for. I feel like I had more of them, but maybe I just had 2. So they're coloring books. I have actually colored some of these. They have done the same thing with Aisha here, like they have just added her on. So yeah, there are some like test games. I mean, this is ridiculously easy. Who wouldn't get that? But yeah, there's some coloring here. There's not actually that much to color, but it is a coloring book. There are some like quizzes and things as well. And yeah, I think it says coloring and games. So this one has games. I love this artwork of Bloom. It's so rare to see her in that sensational Bloom outfit. So yeah, and this one is just a basic coloring book. And this one is just a season 1 version. I think I have colored like most of this one. Because don't judge my coloring, by the way, it was like years ago. I have added some Winx stickers. They're quite like simplistic artworks for you to color. They have Tekna's name in Russian. Ooh, and they have tricks as well. So yeah, that's this coloring book. And now the coloring book that inspired this. This is actually a bootleg coloring book. And I have thought about doing a video on bootleg Wingsclub merch as well. I don't actually own that much, but I have just thought I could do a video talking about it. So if you want to see that, let me know. So this one had stickers in the middle, and obviously I've taken some out. But it still has some stickers in the middle. I'm pretty sure some of them are fan arts. Like this one is definitely a fan art. But as a child, I didn't care that much. So this is very bootleggy. But it has some nice artwork. Like this Flora artwork is really nice. But some of these are completely random. Like this page has the same Flora picture, and then Tekna, then Musa and Tekna together, and this has Stella with Chada, which I think they put together because they thought that Chada is Stella's pixie, but because she looks like Stella, but she isn't. And yeah, there's some interesting artwork, like Timmy working on fireworks and stuff. But some of the artwork is also really random. Like this one with Bloom and Star. Yeah, so this is a sort of got it from a really random bookstore in Estonia, like a really random coloring book. And the back has a really obvious typo. Yeah, this is sort of an interesting piece of bootleg memorabilia. If you want to see a video on bootleg stuff, then let me know. So that's all the coloring books, which just leaves us to sticker books. So most of my sticker books I got from Finland. I have one Norwegian one, and most of these are Panini books. Panini sticker books. I have one Norwegian one. I don't know where it is. I couldn't find it. This is my season 2 one. I think this is the emptiest one I have. But yeah, it's how Panini picture book works. It's how Panini picture books work. You just try and collect stickers. And I did one for every season, and because I had to travel to get them. And this one like has a picture from the Wingsclub magazine as well. Because I had to travel to get them, I could never get the whole thing filled. But there you have it. There's a Halloween spread and the Christmas spread, which also has an artwork from the comics. And you could also order specific stickers if you ran out. If you only had a couple of stickers you wanted. Here's the prices. I think all of the Panini books were like that, but I never owned any that weren't Wingsclub ones. So this is the Year Full of Magic, is the title of this big sticker book. Then we have a season 3 sticker book, which I showed you in another video of mine just recently. So I'm not gonna be spending too much time. They're all Panini sticker books. I think this one has slightly more stickers in it, but they're all essentially the same thing. So that's my season 3 sticker book. And then I'm gonna show you the season 4 sticker book. Again, just same thing. This one actually has a lot of stickers. Wow. Maybe that's just that one page. It is has Roxy because season 4. It's lovely. Morgana looks lovely. Yeah, the stickers in this one are really nice. And I think this is a poster. A larger poster. Yep. So that's the season 4 sticker. I believe it's. And here we have one more, actually a costume book, but it's basically a playbook where you had these Wingsclubs and you could dress them up. These are really like transparent. You had these different backgrounds and you could play, and you had these clothes. You could dress them up. You could dress the characters up, and then you could dress the characters up and then put them on these backgrounds and move them. I don't know if I try to move them, would they still come off? The idea was that you should be able to like reuse them and move the characters and change their clothes, which you were, in my experience, if you didn't play with them for a long time, they would get really stuck. So I don't wanna try getting them off here, but that's basically what you did. I think you guys get the idea. So that's that. And finally we have this tiny coloring book, which I forgot about in the color book section, which I think came with one of the magazines. So this is just a tiny coloring book. Yep. So I hope that you have enjoyed this video. I also had a little notebook, because I guess the notebook is also a type of book. Also had a little Winx Club notebook. It has like different sections. I have actually written stuff in here. Yeah. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, let me know in the comments which of these books you liked best. If you had any of these books, let me know if you had them. What kind of Winx Club books did you guys have? Let me know if you enjoyed this video, if you'd like to see me do something like this in the future as well. And until then, I'll see you in my next video. Don't forget to subscribe and check out some of my other stuff as well, and click that bell button.